Hello and welcome, this is Second Soundwave. Today we're taking a look at the high-grade Jesta cannon from Gundam Unicorn. This is the 152nd installment in the HGUC lineup, and it retails at 2,000 yen, 200 more than a standard-size HG kit. On the front of the box, an illustration of the Jesta cannon in action, and as with most of the Unicorn kits, this one's a work of art. The cannon is featured front and center, with two additional Jestas on base jabbers swooping in to back it up. The bottom of the box features front and back shots of the kit, line art, and a box of text that presumably talks about the kit in-universe. On the top of the box, the Jesta cannon shows off all the cool stuff it can do, accompanied by more mystery text. Inside the first bag of parts is the multicolored A runner, accompanied by a generous quantity of polycaps and a pair of pink beam effects. Second bag consists of duplicate runners B2 and C2, as well as a reasonably sized foil sticker sheet. Bag number 3 contains the full B runner, a generic hand runner, and the E runner, our first glimpse of the new parts for the cannon variant. The final bag holds a C runner that's extended to accommodate the cannon parts, what appears to be an all-new D runner, and a marking seal sheet full of faction symbols, manufacturer markings, and serial numbers. As always, the manual is the last to leave the box. The back is more or less identical to the top of the box, but the inside features a couple new shots of the kit, some scenes from the anime, and a cross-sell for some of the other Unicorn kits on the bottom of the page. A hulking mass of armor and guns, the Jesta makes the GM it's loosely based on look downright pathetic. In addition to the stock Jesta's dark but not quite black color scheme and hefty build, the cannon brings even more armor to the battlefield, with new gray armor on the legs, waist, shoulders, and right forearm. And that's not even counting the new backpack the kit gets its name from. Color separation is great, with minimal stickering and a big enough color packet to make an otherwise monochrome suit look interesting. I especially like how they handle the waist sticker. Instead of being a tiny V like most Federation kits unfortunately use, the sticker on the Jesta completely covers the indented area, making it much easier to apply. The armor has lots of great details, with grenade racks in the legs and waist, and raised armor panels all over the place. The forearms are asymmetrical in build, and this carries over to their appearance. The right arm houses a trio of magazines for the beam rifle. It's a nice detail, but it's a shame they aren't removable like on the High Nu. The left arm is, I guess, some sort of battery maybe? It kinda just looks like a gray lump. It's an odd design choice to be sure, but it doesn't detract from the overall look of the kit. Despite its bulky appearance, the Jesta sports a surprising level of mobility. The head is double ball jointed just like most high grades, but I can't really look up. The cannons can move up and down 90 degrees, and even though they're toothed, there's no ratchet mechanism inside. The shoulders are very well jointed, with a swing out polycap, a ball joint, a vertical hinge, and another hinge where the bicep meets the shoulder. There's a swivel at the bicep, a single 135 hinge at the elbow, and a ball joint at the wrist that's slightly tipped upwards. The torso sports an ample amount of flexibility, but it's kind of negated by the near lack of a waist swivel. The front and back skirts do a good job of getting out of the way, allowing the Jesta to almost pull off a full split. There's a polycap swivel in the thigh, and a double joint knee that is about the same range as the Unicorn. The feet have a tendency to get hung up on the leg armor, but there's enough movement there to pull off most poses. Overall, the Jesta cannon has a very good range of mobility, with only the waist swivel being a letdown. The Jesta cannon has a tremendous amount of accessories. Starting with the hands, there are not 2, not 3, not even 4, but 7 of them. That's more hands than some figure arts have. There's a pair of fists for punching, open palms for relaxed poses, sword holding hands, and one right gun holding hand. This last point can be a bit of a con for some, because even with all these hands, the Jesta can't dual wield. The Jesta cannon's primary weapon is a massive beam rifle that is quite possibly the coolest thing ever made. Just look at it. It's amazing. It fits nicely into the gun holding hand and managed to make the Jesta look even cooler than it already is. And as with most Federation suits, the Jesta includes a beam saber for close combat. I think yellow or amber blades would have looked better, but the beam effects included in the box are pink. There's one left over, so you can arm up another kit that needs an extra blade, for example the unicorn. You also get an alternate side skirt to store the handle in. It goes in fine, but it's really hard to get it out. That's all the Jesta cannon's supposed to have, but there are more surprises left on the runners once you're done. Included is the original Jesta's shield, plus 2 different armatures for attaching it. It looks good enough, but both armatures feel really limited in movement, and they're unattractively hollowed out on one side. You're also left with a side skirt, 1 shoulder pad, part of 1 arm, half a set of leg armor, and some front skirt armor from the original Jesta. But none of these are really that useful because they're in unmatched pairs. The final accessory is a beam rifle from the standard Jesta. It's decent, but not as cool as the other one. And again, because this kit has no left trigger hand, you can't dual wield the rifles. There's a lot to like about the Jesta cannon. Lots of options, fantastic rifle, good mobility for such a bulky unit, and a great overall look to top it off. It's not all perfect though. The shield arm isn't all that usable, and the lack of a left trigger hand is kind of a disappointment. But these are just minor issues. Overall, the Jesta cannon is a fantastic kit that I strongly recommend to any gun club builder. Hey, you still there? Good, because this right here, this is where the fun begins. There are a few problems with the Jesta, so we're going to take care of them. Our first problem is going to be getting the Jesta to dual wield. The easiest solution is to just borrow a hand from another kit. The Gym Sniper K9 has more than enough hands, so we'll use one from it. It fits, but it's a tad loose for my taste. A tiny bit of glue should fix that. If you make it too tight, just sand down the excess as needed. Coincidentally, no modding is needed to swap off the Gym Sniper's hand cover for the Jestas. Now your Jesta can finally dual wield like a pro. Next is an easy mod most high grade kits need. Pull off the crotch cover, then remove the front skirts like so. Then cut down the middle. Trim the excess off the ball joints, then reassemble. Now the front skirts can move independently. Now for the big one, mounting the shield on the arm. There's a lot of blank space on the left forearm, and the shield is a disappointment, so let's fix both problems at once. There's plenty of space in the arm, so let's drop a magnet in there. Next, I found a steel screw that was close enough to the diameter of the shield mount, and glued it in place. It's not the strongest connection, but it works for display. All that's left is the marking sheet. There's a lot of options and not a lot of open surfaces on the Jesta. Still, I managed to trim the important ones on the shoulders and add a serial number to the rifle. At long last, the Jesta cannon is truly complete. This is a kit I strongly recommend to just about every kind of Gundam fan. If you like this new style of review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below. And as always, I'm Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time.